How's it going, everybody? My name is Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller and full-time student. Today I'm going to be walking you through the exact strategies I use to get my Amazon business off the ground. I started selling books on Amazon in about late 2018, and I was actually able to scale the exact strategies as I'm about to show to do my first $100,000 in sales. I ended up making about $20,000 to $30,000 as a freshman in college, just doing it part-time. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, and I'll show you how you can make some easy side hustle money starting today. Before we get started, I just want to say that only about 15% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you find any value in this video, I'd really appreciate the subscribe. You can always unsubscribe and it's free. So before we jump into any specifics, I just want to show you the stats from my first year selling on Amazon. I started in late September, October-ish in 2018. And within a year, I was able to do $88,000 in sales on Amazon. And then on top of that, I did about 5 to 10 on eBay. And then this is on probably 25 to 30% profit margins. With books, you're paying basically nothing for it. It's all just labor. That was a pretty good income as a freshman in college. I was probably working 20 hours a week on this business, just going to thrift stores and scanning books like I'm about to So before we jump into any specifics, I just wanted to show you that this business definitely works. So let's go ahead and show you how you do it. So the first thing you're going to do is go to sellercentral.amazon.com. You're going to go up in this top right corner and you're going to press sign up. So you're going to enter your email and a password in here to get started. It's also going to need some tax information. It's going to need your social security number. It'll need your address. Don't be scared by it. It's a company. You're working for Amazon more or less. So just provide the info they need. You're going to get a postcard in the mail that's going to request a code. So after about a week to 2 weeks, you're going to be able to go ahead and fully set up your seller account, and then you're going to be ready to move on to the next step. So just real quick, I'm going to go ahead and outline the major steps that you're going to have to do to get this underway. The first thing you're going to have to do with any business is find a source where you're going to be able to get your books, right? The second thing you're going to have to do is buy your equipment. There's not a whole lot of equipment involved in this, but you're going to want to buy a little bit just to speed up the process, and it's definitely worth it. And then the third thing you're going to have to figure out is how you're going to sell it. In our case, we're going to use Amazon, and I'm going to show you how to fulfill your products by FBA. It's a super simple process. Amazon takes care of customer service, order fulfillment, all that kind of thing. You just pay a little bit of extra fees, and then you can worry about sourcing other things. It does charge you extra fees. Sometimes they'll seem a little extreme, but it's the price you pay for scalability, right? As the business owner, you want to be able to outsource as many things as possible. So Amazon allows us to take care of the mundane things like order fulfillment and customer service so that we can go out and figure out how to get products faster. So the first step in that process is to figure out where you're going to be able to get your books from. In this case, I started at thrift stores. I did pretty much only thrift stores for my first year on Amazon. Just working hard, going to thrift stores a lot. So let's say you live in Dallas. You're just going to do a quick search for thrift stores in Dallas. You're going to check out maps. And then you're just going to go to all of these places, right? And over time, you're going to figure out which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones you might want to skip. And you'll end up developing a rotation of some kind. I had a document for myself where I would go to every store in my area twice a week, and then there were some stores that I would go 4 times a week. And it's just good to have a system, get to know the managers at these stores, learn when they're putting books out. Don't be afraid to talk to the employees. You're buying their stuff after all. It's not like you're doing anything that they don't like. It's against the rules. You're just buying things from them in bulk, right? So if you're able to communicate better with them and figure out when those stuff is going out at these thrift stores, you're going to be able to make a lot more money. Another way you're going to be able to source books is by going to this website called Bookcellfinder.com. It's not quite as effective these days during the current situation, but typically you're going to go on here, you're going to click your state, and then there's just going to be a whole big list of book sales that you're able to go to. Some of these are ads, but then if you go down here, the white ones are things that people have just thrown up. So as you can see in Abilene, Texas, there's going to be 100,000 books for sale on June 18th, 2021. So you're just going to throw these on your calendar, the ones that are within a couple hours of you with a lot of books. You're also going to be looking for this right here. Sometimes the book sales will remove products to sell on their own Amazon store, but if it says that they're not picked over here, that's what you're looking for. And then a third source that I like to use pretty often is Facebook Marketplace. You're just going to go here, Facebook Marketplace, you're going to go within your area, and then you're just going to search books. And then you're just going to search through all these and find textbooks, that kind of thing. Big lots. Typically, there'll be some decent ones in it. Like this right here is the type of stuff I look for, these old obscure textbooks, sometimes big lots of books. Students will just sell all the books that they had from their college. You're gonna be able to pick all those up in a decent batch. Pro tip on Facebook Marketplace that you could use if you want is I have some people that live 20 to 40 miles away from me, so that I'm able to search bigger on Facebook Marketplace, like in a bigger range, because I don't really want to drive the 30-40 miles to pick up a book that I would make $100 off of. So what I'll do is I'll work with family friends. I've got grandparents who live 40 miles north, and so I'm actually able to expand my searches and offer them 50% of the profit on those, and then next time you're with those people, they're able to pass on those books. So if a system like that works for you, it's worked well for me. I probably make 50 to 100 bucks a month just off of books that I'm able to say, hey, you should go pick this up, and I don't really do anything. I just sell it for them. And signing those Facebook Marketplace books that you're able to find but are a little too far from you, that's a nice way to make more money with Marketplace. So now that we've gone over the basics of where you're going to be able to get books from, now we're going to have to look at the tools you need to make it happen. You really only need $100 to $150 in startup capital to start a book business. A little more would be nice, but that's just the bare bones for the equipment alone. And then if you want to get free books, you would be able to do it that way. But I would probably recommend having anywhere from $200 to $500 to start. It's super low capital, but let's go ahead and take a look at the basics of what you'll need. You're going to need to purchase just a couple pieces of equipment to get started. You're going to need this Yo-Yo 1D wireless barcode scanner. There's plenty of options for this. This is the one that I've found balances quality with price the best. I've bought, as you can see here, it says I've bought 4 of them, but I've probably bought closer to 10 for my team, and just you'll lose a couple. It happens. And then when you only lose 45 bucks versus the $200 Opticon scanners and stuff like that, it's not as big of a deal. The next thing you're going to want to buy is 30 up labels like this. These are going to go into your printer, and just like it shows in this picture here, you're going to get these little barcodes printed out, and you're going to go ahead and put these on the back of the books when you're listing them for FBA. And if you're a little more proactive and want to start things out even stronger, you can go ahead and pick up a Dymo 450. This is what I still use to this day to label all my stuff. And then you're also going to want to pick up some of these rolls, these 30, 33, 4 labels. These are going to go in here and print out the labels way faster. The first software you're going to need is called Scout IQ. It's actually a database of almost every book on Amazon, and it's going to work alongside with that barcode scanner I showed you, so that you're able to burn through those thrift store shelves really quickly, and it's going to go ahead and show you if a book is profitable or not. It's $44 a month, which for what it does is super cheap. You're usually able to make that back on your first 1 or 2 stops of the month. The app comes with some basic triggers already set up, so you really don't need to do anything technical when you're first starting. It's going to do all the hard work for you. All you're going to do is point your barcode scanner at the books, Bluetooth sync it up with your phone, and then just learn how to get faster at getting through those shelves, and then you're going to be able to use this app to make a whole lot of money. So just as a quick example of how Scout IQ works, I was just going to go ahead and run through this example on the Scout IQ website. So when you scan a book, it's going to show this little interface here. This first column here is the merchant fulfilled offers. What merchant fulfilled means is that these are the offers that someone has a warehouse, or they're shipping out from their garage or that kind of thing, and they've got shelves in their office, that kind of stuff. This right here is the FBA column. In this case, you can see that there's no FBA offers for this book. And what FBA is, this is what I prefer, is you send it into Amazon and then they do all your order fulfillment for you. And you're able to offer 2-day Prime shipping, so you're able to charge a premium over these prices here. So in this case, since no FBA offers are available, I would probably price it right here at this $80 price, and I'd be able to get more money than the $50 low price. This column right here is the new merchant fulfilled. So these are people who are buying direct from the publishers and selling them new from their warehouse. And then this is new FBA. You don't need to really worry about new books, because unless you're working directly with a publisher, you're not allowed to sell them new on Amazon. That'll get you in trouble. This top left box right here is going to show you what you're going to make or what you're going to lose from the book. Typically, about 2 to 3% of the books you scan at thrift stores will be profitable, and usually they'll say reject and it'll be negative here. But when it's positive and it matches up with the e-score, and what e-score is this is how many times the book has sold within the last 180 days. And that's individual days. So for example, this book could have sold 100 times on each of these 56 days out of the 6 months, but it's only going to show 56 e-score. So for example, a lot of the super high volume books will just say 151 plus, and what that means is it basically sells every day. This rank right here is the Amazon sales rank. The closer you get to 0 is better, except 0 means you have no sales, so 1 is the top selling product in that category. For books, anything below 300, 400,000 is going to sell relatively quickly, and then up to 1 million is going to be a little bit of your slower movers, and then up to 3 million is about as far as I like to go. 3 million is 2 or 3 sales a year, so if it's a super profitable book, then it might be worth picking up. This buy cost option right here, you're going to be able to plug that in on your app, and it's going to automatically factor that into your profit for you. So on books where you're only making a couple bucks, it's going to matter a lot more. And then this right here is your trade-in value. This is what Amazon is offering to pay for the book. I rarely use this feature, but if you find a book with a trade-in value, it typically means it's a good buy, because if Amazon's willing to buy it, then that means you definitely should be from a thrift store. So within the app as well, this box right here is going to be your Helium 10 extension. Once you learn how to use Keepa graphs, I've actually made a video about it. It'll be up in the top right corner right now. You're going to be able to use that information to figure out if a book is actually going to sell. This right here is the live button. So when typically you're searching, you're going to be searching from a database, so it's super fast and it's not pulling the individual data every time. But when you get a green, it might be a good idea to press the live button to make sure it's still profitable from when the last time you downloaded your database. This right here is the Book Scouter option. This is going to show you all of the available buyback offers from other large companies will pay money for some of your books. And then this right here is just a button that'll show you all the listings on Amazon currently. The second software that you're going to absolutely need is called Keepa. What it does is it tracks sales data and price data over the past, and it plots it on actual individual Amazon pages. And you're going to use this data right here to inform your pricing decisions, figure out if a book is actually going to sell, that kind of thing. I've actually got a video that I've already made about how to read Keepa graphs if you want to go ahead and click the link at the top right now. I've also got 2 more softwares that I recommend, but they're not required at first. The first one is called Becool. It's a repricer. What this is going to do is it's going to take all of the products that you're selling, and every 15 minutes it's going to update the price based on whatever settings you give it. So for my books, every 15 minutes it will match the FBA price that I want it to be matching, so that I'm always competitive and I'm always able to get the sale if a customer comes on that listing and wants to buy that book. And the alternative to this at the beginning is going manually once a week or so and just pressing match price, or manually looking at the listing, and based on Keepa charts, you're going to have to manually set that price to match the other FBA prices. It's super tedious, and this software is only $25 a month to start. It scales up with your listings. As you can see, for 1,000 listings, it's only $25 a month. So for quite a while, you're only just going to need the $25 a month to reprice your inventory, and that's going to give you a whole lot more sales, and it's definitely worth $25 a month. The third software that I recommend is called Inventory Lab, and what Inventory Lab is it's a listing software as well as an accounting software for you. So when you're listing your products, you're going to sync it up with that Dymo printer I showed you, and you're just going to scan a barcode up into this top box up here. It's going to pull up a book. You're going to select it. It's going to show you this menu right here. You're going to tell it what you paid for it, the day you got it on, and a supplier, so that you're able to track the amount of money you're making from your different sources. And then when you click add to batch, it's going to send the label straight to your Dymo printer, and then you're just going to be able to put it onto the book from there, versus having to add everything into a Amazon seller batch on Amazon seller, and then you're going to have to print the labels on 30 up and then label it. It's going to be out of order, and it's kind of just a mess. So you're going to want to be able to do this pretty soon, but it is a little bit of an investment because you need that Dymo printer and you need this software, which is $50 a month. But the nice thing about paying for this software is that once you do, all of your buy costs are stored in here, right? So you're able to use this as your accounting software for your cost of goods sold. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you this little snapshot within Inventory Lab. Again, I told you this could be your accounting software. So I just wanted to show you how profitable this can really be. This right here is just the breakdown of all the categories I've sold in. And as you can see right here with category book, I've sold 7,000 of them. I've done about 125,000 in revenue, and I've made around $45,000 selling books over the last 2-ish years. And a lot of that time was super part-time. and I actually lived in China for 4 months of that, and those sales were still trickling in, so that was definitely a really cool ability from that. But that just goes to show you that this business model definitely works, and it's something that I'm still actively doing today, even though we've moved on to some wholesale and retail arbitrage strategies as well. So I hope this video provides a really good outline for what you're able to do just selling books on Amazon. I went over how you're able to find them, how you're able to get through them and figure out what they're worth, and then I also went over the equipment you're going to need to be able to sell them. I did not cover how to send them into a warehouse. There's a whole bunch of YouTube videos on that, and I will also be making one at some point, so if it's right here, then just go ahead and click on that. If you have any questions about anything, I'm happy to answer them. Feel free to shoot us a question in the comments. As always, if you found any value from this video, please like, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps me out with the algorithm. Thanks guys, see you next time.